think that's all. I think that's all working. Yeah, let me know if that's working or not. I think it should be all coming through now. So it's just, and it's only coming through the microphone. Great. Good, good, good. All right, let's open some sessions. I'll just try and fly through and give some quick pointers on some stuff. Just as far as this is hangs, yep. Got a whole heap of sounds there. Squish these sounds up onto. They don't need to be on single tracks like this. Just like shrink it up, and then you can save some tracks. And it's going to be easier. You don't need to worry about this. I wouldn't even worry about EQs on them. That's just, I don't think it's necessary. Yeah, just be careful about any of that. If you want to put EQs and stuff on things, if you really need to do it, use the audio suites up here. So what is it, EQ37 band or whatever. So keep them off. The VCA, which isn't really attached to it for some reason. PFX, dialogue, ADR. So these should be all effects as one group. So you just got the one effects group, I take it. Group V effects, and this one should be just the effects, so the sound effects, and keep that as that. So you're just muting, that's all you, sound effects, muting, unmuting. PFX is, that seems to not be PFX, that's all music. So make this VCA for music. Yeah, and you got all of that there. Again, you can keep your music pretty wide. You got lots going on, and that's okay. Music, it's okay. You can bloat it out a little bit there. Dialogue, yep, that's great. There and there. See how you go, putting some EQs on it. It's not the highest order. Probably the more pressing thing is trying to have a backgrounds group. Yeah, get your background. They're all in the assignment 2 folder. Make sure that you've got other people. You should have your music edit. Just make sure you got everything there. There should be someone else's music edit, someone else's effects edit, and you should have a group for backgrounds. So all the sounds a long way away, and as well as the closer sounds. Also, I've got Foley, so you've got your writing here. Foley's got some writing as well, so you can make those decisions. So it's just, I think you're just a little bit back. They're probably the biggest wins you need to do. Just making sure you got everything in there, and then just making sure you're balancing it. As far as volume,
it's difficult to give my dad a fitting tribute.
That's 79.
Those very few people that knew him as a complex man.
Good volume there.
Ooh, haven't you grown up to be quite beautiful?
Yep. Yeah, it's quite bold with the music. Often when we really like something, like if we've made the effects or the music, we kind of want to push it pretty loud. So
good stuff.
Just make sure you're not going too hot.
We both did. I think you kind of always thought you'd.
Yeah, and there's moments like these that could use a bit of EQ. Just really simply take out a little bit of the lows and maybe bump a little bit of the highs around 5K. And I wouldn't do just like a couple of dB, and that might be enough just to kind of help it. Don't push it too hard where it starts to sound weird.
I'm sorry I left you. But I had to get out.
Yeah, we're just missing a bit of ambience and stuff. Like we've got no effects going on here. This is where the backgrounds will really come in.
You're different.
So it's just dialogue going.
There's something scary.
We need more. So get in those other edits. I've even done a bit of I've got my basic with none of the ambisonics, but I've got the basic background edit there. But yeah, it's getting there. Keep it up. Cal, by the looks of it. So I won't get to hear EQs, what you've done there, but it's all right.
Very few people that knew him as a complex man. And in his last years, he was barely there at all.
It's all sitting
Very few people.
pretty all right. It's like maybe... it feels...
Oh, what a spinner. I spilled a glass of water and this was...
Yeah, it's hard to know with the EQs you've done because, yeah, with a bit of EQ will change how... maybe you'll change the EQ and you might just need to bring the volume up and down a little bit, but it's all sitting pretty good. It's some moments are pretty bold. Like that's pretty thumping. But it's sitting pretty good. Or I'll probably just more the dialogue I think's good. I think it's more just could probably just drop the music back by 3 or 4 and see where it sits, kind of thing. Yeah, but get your calibration and just kind of see where it sits for you, and then just I think you mentioned it. Now it's just getting into chiseling. So I could even come back to this one. I think it's all pretty well set up to start chiseling away at things. Just like I'm right in here. So we've got dialogue going
as a complex man.
Full on. We've got ambiences going full on. We've got bird chirps going full on. And we've got music as well, and we've got the Foley and all of that. I would
few people that knew him.
And just down here with your music guessing that's your master. Yeah, cool. That's great. Effects master. Yeah, so you can do it for all of them. Yeah, so you got them done individually, and yeah, I would probably even do them as separate groups so you can individually fade each of them. Although you got that as a sum as well. And just solo defeat these here as well. So any of your masters, command click will solo defeat it. So if you're soloing a track, it won't mute them. And now we're soloed and it will still play through. So yeah, so is that what's that? It's a stereo. Oh yeah, so you got this. Gotcha. So I'll probably put this, because it's just volume. Probably put that just up on the VCA. So now it's just trimming all of those volumes. As you see here, bring up the volume automation. It's not doing it by much. You could probably go way more bold. So yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No worries. Background sum. Yeah, so it's kind of essentially like a background master kind of thing there. Let's probably do it for those as well. Make an individual. If you want to get into that, because then you can start going. This is what I'll just show it quickly, and it might not be the right moment for it, but I'll just do it with EQ7 Man because everyone's got it. So you just got this set up, and you got your two. Would you just sweep it like that? Oh, it's down 20. Yeah, you're not even going to notice it. So just chucking them two on. So we've got all of the automation there. Then you can just do, especially, I like it really soft. So this is our filter. Keep it a really soft filter so you don't hear the, like the frequency sweep. Having that there. And maybe, where's a moment in the head? I'll just bring in the pics. You're 1 hour, yep. Oh, good. All right. See if we can find a spot. All right. So just say here, for example. So I'm going to press Control Command Click, and this is going to bring up the automation line. So this is on the background master. So this is VCA is controlling the volume for all of these all together, and then these are all going to the background sum or the background master, and I'm putting an EQ on it. So this can be a way, instead of just going for this scene and you're doing it a bit there, you're slowly bringing out the volume there. I'd probably even use that as a way to just bring it down more. Then maybe you just want to just try something. So slowly over the conversation, we're going to filter out the high frequencies. It's not really doing much now. Just want to be pretty careful, but you can see how slow it's going. It's like, yeah, very slow. Sometimes you just won't even hear, you probably won't even hear most of that cut off, roll off there. But I just always make a new, just kind of try and smooth it. Whoops. We might just like slowly get it down. Okay, let's go for like really poignant moment right on the boom. Okay, so we're here and we want to be like almost like complete silence. We're just so subtle. Okay, that's about 400 hertz. Okay, then maybe we just bring that back up. You know, start blunt fade and then just see. Get a little bit of that sweepy feel there. So that's just something to be careful of. Maybe we just like start fading it from back there. We get the silent. Alright, so then maybe what we're going to do is use the gesture of the camera. That is when we're going to open it up. So that's how we're going to get our gesture. Instead of just snapping and getting and feeling too much of that sweep. Still hear the sounds. But then as the camera moves down, it just slowly opens up a little bit. Okay, now we're just solid back in the environment. So we've managed to just turn the volume down a little bit by what? Okay, 10 decibels, so quite a lot. And then we've also just filtered it all the way out. So we've moved from like, bang, we are in the forest. There's no avoiding it, to moving inside of her head without having to just mute it. You're still getting these creaks and a few things. Maybe it's in a different group, I don't know, but it might be this one. Like, there's some great sounds there, which kind of lend itself to being a part of like her own internal groans or something like that. I don't know. Probably just mute that one then. Where's the bird chirps? Okay, so I don't want this one, so I'm just going to mute that one out, so that one can just fully fade out. Yeah. Getting a little bit of a jump here. Just be careful. I don't know why that is. That's a bit better. Yep, and again, so and then we want to maybe smooth it out. Okay, and this is why I try and get the background starting a bit earlier and then cut to it. Is that maybe we just want to fade it out, fade it up slowly, so we're not getting a jump maybe, and then just slowly fade it up. And let's just see what we've got. I really like that one. Feels right. That one feels good. And that one's doing the same thing, which I don't like that one as much. Okay, so now we're back. So I can go for a fully subtle shift. Nice. We're getting a lot of birds going on. Okay, we've got enough. I'm going to take these ones out, I think. Yeah, we just don't need it. There's plenty of birds going on. Alright, play it all in the mix and see where we get to. Alright, then we've got all the internal and all of this. So, yeah, I should probably have had more of that going on. But so just as that, maybe that's one direction you could take. If it was just, if there wasn't blaring music over the top, maybe that's one direction you could take. And finding what's important in the scene. So just trying to really focus that in. I'd keep cloth muted unless you need. You got other stuff on there. That's alright. I'll keep it muted. So getting rid of some of this stuff. Internal. Alright. So what do we got? What's the internal doing? Pretty nice. But then it's like just depends on whether or not it's saying too much. I don't know. It depends where you want to go. Yeah, so you can go for a more of a bold approach like that, or the way that we were looking at it is, so this is where it's just fun. So I'm just going to slowly fade that one out as well. And what was going on with the music? Alright, so we're going... We're just... And we're just going to go for subtle. So bring that one down as well. This is a different approach. This is where the reverb send might be good. Stereo, mix, verb, one. Let's just send that much. Go out the, where are you going to? MMX. Yeah, that's good. We just want to make sure that we're only doing it for that one bit. So control command click and bring up that one sound. So this is just going to be smooth out. So let's go pre-fader, and then I can just make it all reverby. So it's all really wet. Okay, then let's go the other way. So with also filtering, let's put an EQ, EQ37 band, pop that in, Going to bring up the low pass. Okay, maybe we'll go the other way where we're going. So we're going for that moment. Let's put a point there, and we bring that up to. And what else have we got? So from here, it's fully immersive and like we're in it. We're in the scene now. We totally get it. Good. It's probably quite strong, I imagine, but we'll listen in context. Okay. We're taking out the low end slowly across the whole group. Just like an echo, just an echo, okay. Let's just see what this is doing again.
Beautiful as you are.
Oh, we've got these ones.
It's rotten.
But what am I supposed to do? Come live in your filthy van with you?
So when she gets to, from there, we can start fading down. Oh, okay, let's do a running, walking, and shock. You can do a thing like take it and ramp it. That can work. Hearing through her ears. Okay, we've got to get that right on. Boom. There. Let's push it 12 decibels and then bring it, snap it back. Cool, that's kind of fun. Okay, maybe we can actually then try jumping back into just this one here. We're just trying to keep it varied. So let's push this one as well. Too much maybe. So we've managed to just take ambience and turn it into a panic attack kind of thing. She's becoming super heightened in her surroundings. She's like running away from someone. I love the Kookaburras. It's kind of giving me a sense of paranoia. Okay, and then with this one as well. Yeah, we're probably gonna have a whole bunch of music. Internal abstract. I got your reverby one, that's good. Yeah, that works well. I like it. Probably just play that down a bit. Well, I'm not a fan of that one as much. Maybe just more subtle on that. Maybe that's all you need. What do we got? Whoa. Yeah, it's just managing. You got heaps of assets, which is good. Let's go for an ambient swell there. So let's say that's what we're going for. It's becoming heightened. That's going to cut through no matter what. So we're going to get a sense of tense or it kind of feels stasis, like you get being held in unknown a bit. So that works well. This is the thumpy thumpy. Yeah. I'm just going to turn these down a bit. See ya. Okay, so this is a good track. Oh yeah, and we sculpt, but we're not getting. It's not moving much by the looks of it, and so that's where it can become a bit dangerous, maybe. So I think just sculpting that out would help. Yeah, I mean, it seems like where you're, and it's totally fine the direction you're going, a bit more, it's quite articulated, which is great. Cool. Then, like long drones, this is just modulating it. Get more of a sense of unease, and just gives. Or even slower. You can probably just... Also just... We're going to get into the Cirrus combo. Sometimes I like... yeah. Alright, so we've got run, run, run. What else is loud? Yeah. Anyway, you can see what I'm doing. I'll probably spend a fair bit of time on that. Trying to just sculpt them out. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I mean, everything's there. What else was it? It's just, everything's probably just a bit loud to start with, so it feels like I'm just pulling things down a bit too much. Whereas it's good to be able to just find a bit more of that equilibrium. And this, I think you could do with a bit of thinning things out, maybe a bit, just to focus it. But you got heaps there to work with, and it's, yeah, really good. It's like, it's a pleasure to work on. Like, everything's where I'm wanting it to be for me personally, and so it's like quite enjoyable, just starting to focus on what's working, how does it sound in certain bits, how do we kind of sculpt around. Yeah. Okay, let's go through, let's try and jump through an extra couple. Okay, yeah. Dan, I had a heap of trouble trying to get your, it was all over the place. Just finding the session. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then you're using HD or something like that. You got a lot of tracks going on. I think you got the new version of HG, which has actually got more tracks. I haven't updated mine for ages. It's time to do it since I just had to pay my yearly update. Yeah, mine was like where, I'm not sure where your dialogue was. Couldn't see it. So just getting your dialogue in, but you know, your groups are kind of here. Looks a bit thin or disjointed or something like that. And just getting all of those sounds in. So yeah, and if you're not going to use all of the groups, that's fine. As far as, so just using a lot of tracks and there's a lot of blank space, so it's good to have things on separate tracks like this. Okay, one thing that can work well, you got stereo tracks there. So see how it's jumbled up left and right, because these are actually mono tracks. So you'll see this, just bring them down to mono tracks like that. So a good thing that can work in sessions as well is just color coding your track groups, and this might help you navigate around. So these are both hand on notebook, right? So keep them in one group there, and then you can just select those and color them a certain color, so they're that color now. Now this hand on handbook is going to be a different color, so you can start kind of blocking out certain colors. So if you've got two things in the one track, you can group them by different, so maybe you've got the notebook a different color to the pencil or something like that. But yeah, I don't think you need to for that one. It's getting a bit OCD. Yeah, and just making sure that your VCA is working right. So that's only soloing this one track here. And now if you've gone and duplicated all the tracks out like that, it's fine. I'll probably just end up finding the Foley A, delete it, go on, and then just select. I mean, I don't even think you need this stereo one. Yeah, again, so this is actually going to play some of your sounds on the left, some on the right. It's going to be pretty wacky to bring that down. You don't even need those stereos. Alright, so now I'm just going to recreate this group, select all of them, Command G, V, Fol, A. So we'll just create a new one because we just deleted the old one. And now you can put that in there and it's working. Alright, so solo this and we've got... Yep, that's good. And you've got a couple of hand gestures in there as well. Yeah, you're gonna run out of tracks. I mean, I've run out of tracks. I'm trying to play all of this. Female touches. This is human. Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see where you're gonna go with it. Yeah, just keep off the stereos. That's a big one. Like you got in there as well. It's gonna be messy. It's not gonna play sounds right at all. Lots of good groups, female footsteps as well. Yeah, same deal. Let's get them all working. Yeah. I've got the boot. Oh, that's denoised, and this is... That's a bit shorter. I don't know where you got to. Oh, they're just different takes or something. Yeah. Yeah, a bit of organisation, but you got the music in there. 1 or 2 sessions. Yeah. And just, yeah, not sure what these are. Yeah, so get that organization going a bit more. Let's shrink up those tracks. You just don't need it on multiple tracks. But yeah, I'm not quite sure where you're at in your process, but yeah, get your dialogue in, all of that kind of thing. But otherwise looking decent. Yep. All right. Lock. Yeah, this is the scene where I heard the
It's
long drone
difficult
at the
to
start.
give my dad a
We've done some VCA there. Let's bring in the first thing I'm noticing. The ambience is quite loud, but I mean that can work. Just bring in the picks. Yep. I'll do it. We know the movie enough now. Mute that. Bring it up. There you go. There's a thing to do. In your AF session, turn the trim off and mute it, because I'm doing that every single time. So when you import it, it's already muted. So it's just good to, like, little things like that can stack up over a while. Anyway, so let's have a look at the scene. Okay, so we're losing an ambience or something somewhere. That's all good.
It's difficult to give my dad a fitting tribute. Those very few people that knew him as a... You are kind.
Yeah, let's listen to the dialogue first.
Those very few people that knew him as a complex man.
Yeah, that's at a pretty decent volume. You could have a VCA for the dialogue. So I can do that.
Cool.
Oh, and there's the ADR you can use as well.
Is it you?
I don't know if that's
It is?
ADR or not.
How are you here?
Well, I heard. I could use a drink, eh?
How are you here?
Well, I heard.
Say that line's probably a bit loud. And this is where you're doing your wax on, wax off. Just
Is it you?
It is?
How are you here?
Well, I heard.
yeah, it just feels quite present. Or maybe it's ADR.
Heard. Well, I heard. I could use a drink, eh?
Yeah, just even that compared to that.
Well, I heard.
A bit better now.
I could use a drink, eh?
Yeah. That's where you just often have faders going up and down.
How are you here?
Well, I heard.
Try and bring
Could
it
use
up.
a drink, eh? I could use a drink, eh?
Yeah, it seems like it cuts off a bit. I could be wrong, I don't know. It just sounds a little unnatural, but it's okay. Alright.
Could use a drink, eh? Up to be quite beautiful.
So I'm just concerned that, yeah, we're getting like 4 minutes of drone there, 4 minutes of drone there, of the same drone. It's going to be droned out. Oh, and we moved up a tone, which is good. Good. It's just 8 minutes of the same drone. 9 minutes is going to be a bit overpowering. So try and just, you're just going to become just desensitized to it, potentially. And it's a bold move, but and you could try and sell it, but just, you just might need a few tricks to kind of get around it. I mean, if you want to stick to that, then maybe it is things like doing a subtle tilt or shift over the track as it's going. So we've got that synth. This is all the same. I'm just going to put this one on a different track because it's a different sound. All right. Get a bit of variation there. Whoa, and then it gets really loud. So what would I do? You could potentially just, okay, I'm going to duplicate that out. Just copy this down. This is one way, just that. Edit, and maybe this one is just like super washy. And filtered, something like that. Too much. And then say it's probably just not quite right. Maybe you can do pitch as well. Time shift. Very. Let's go 200. No, let's go. Oh, oops, 12. Transpose, yeah. So going up just an octave. Now it might sound terrible. Go super wide, chorusy, far, right. We're starting to gonna have a really long tail, which is so I might commit this. Bring this one back up. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. I think we just need to really cut into. Let's mute these for now. I just need a bit of clip gain. Yeah, so we're able to keep that drone. That's like still in there. We'll just added an upper harmonic to kind of give it some tonal difference. Okay, so then maybe you can go with that. Keep the drone going up there, but then slowly have the line. End out, just sculpting it out like that kind of thing. So we're getting some shift and some variation long term. And then you can use it a bit more like a motif, so when it does come back, you got that there. And similar in the scene, so you're fading that out slowly, and then that means we can kind of go up here in the ambiences. So that's our computer running. I'm going to just say not for now. Kind of like that one. Just opening. We've got okay, we've mixed up our groups here. So we've got some in background B's up in background A up there. So that's, yeah, just try and, if you want to bring up, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, if you want those 4 up there, just duplicate this one out 4 times and bring them up onto background A groups, background A tracks. And I've done some manual fading there. Yeah. And that one there as well. Looks like it's done from VCA or something in Coalesce because they're the same or copied. I'm just going to take these off for now. Oops. Oh, it's just those. And background. Oh, that's effects all. Oh, that's the VCA there. Gotcha. Yeah, that's probably just a bit loud. And in HD, take a bit of that. That's just super subtle. Yeah, so probably try and find one. That's where a filter can come in. So I'm just filtering out all the highs down to 1K. It's kind of sounding a little bit backgroundy, distant. Getting a lot of kind of low mids, so it might just be a volume thing as well. I just want to get rid of those birds. Yeah, maybe this is the key. Just down. Alright, so what do we got? Got the opening. Anything else playing? Okay, so it's got the drone happening from the start.
It's difficult to give my dad a fitting.
I'll give this a snappy opening. So now I'm still -10. Yeah, if you're doing it across the board like that, it just means that all of this just needs to come down. So if you've got the clip gain line, you can select everything, grab it, turn it down by, oops, that was 6 and another 3 or 4, you know, by that, and that means you can clear the VCA and bring it back up to 0.
Those very few people that knew him.
Just this one. Quite ominous. There, that's where it might be good to have come in, maybe. There, so I'm just gonna sculpt it out a bit. There. Okay, and we had a reverb send. You can go MX verb. Set it up on there. Let's go pre. Yep. And then solid defeat. This one goes out straight. You're going out to left to right. That's fine. And yep. That. Sure. Bit of that. And we're going to go into the reverb. Open this up, and I just want it for that one note. So this is pre fader. So I can turn that up. It's gonna do it. It doesn't matter what the fader is doing on the track. This is pre-fader, so it's doing its own thing. I like this pacing out of this sound, but yeah, just a bit of reverb.
It's difficult to give my dad a fitting tribute. It's difficult to give my dad a fitting tribute. Those very few people that knew him as a complex man.
Yeah, and that's
complex man was in recent years, but instead that knew him as a complex man. And in his last years, he was barely there at all. Today comes as a relief to me, having watched him in pain for so long. I choose not to remember him as he was in recent years, but instead imagine a different person. The man that knew him as a complex man. And in his last years, he was barely there at all. Today comes as a relief to me, having watched him in pain for so long. As a relief to me, Having watched him in pain for so long, I choose not to. It's difficult to give my dad a fitting. You're a cunt.
Alright, I'm just gonna try and suck out the whole of the energy in that scene there.
Is, but instead imagine a different person. The man he might have been in his youth. The man I didn't get to know. Fuck this. You're a cunt. Having watched him in pain for so long, I choose not to remember him as he was in recent years, but instead imagine a different person. The man he might have been in his youth. The man I didn't get to know in his youth. The man I didn't get to know. Fuck this. The man he might have been in.
Yeah, we've got this pre. Bring that up.
You're a cunt.
Yeah, hack into that. Just bring that in.
You're a cunt.
Yeah, some good stuff going on. I'd maybe just bring these ambiences out over the. Giving a bit of volume push. PFX. Anything else? I'd mute. Oh, these aren't even playing. Half of these. Yeah. Anyway. That's a bit of a play there. I just want to make sure I get through some more edits. I just got two more. Cool. Just a bit of volume on that. Got dialogue in, yeah. Is that a dog? Yeah. Just check through some of the other edits for your background B. Dialogue, effects A, effects B, Foley, ADR, chuck that up with your dialogue. Effects A, effects B, Foley, yep, so just got Foley all as one group. Mute your Foley cloth, score's all in there, needs to be cut a bit more, and then you just got this score as well. But yeah, it's all going in, just getting all your tracks going out to your mains. Yeah, it's already assigned to another group. So you got the music A, B. I'd probably just put them all up in the one group. There's no need for them to be separate. These are also all mono. Just be careful of mono and stereo. So these should be on stereo tracks because .L.R means left and right. So make a stereo track. MXA stereo 1. Out your main. You can just select all of that. Control so it doesn't move out of time and drag it down. So now it's on one track. So you just need to do that to all of these. These are all stereo. Your foley will be on mono. These are stereo.L.R. Mono is good, especially for foley, but when you get to the backgrounds, it's good to have like a nice wide open stereo. Just kind of sets this wider stage. So maybe just bringing in some of the ambiences that other people have would be good as well. You're not doing all the lifting by yourself. But aside from that, yeah, the session's starting to get there. Bring in those backgrounds, and then it's just yeah, it's like too loud. Just make sure you're getting your speakers at the right volume. Like that's like pretty uncomfortable. So yeah, try and get your levels. You can probably bring it down if you want to. Let's see how your dialogue's sitting.
To give my dad a
That's
fit
not sitting
to
too bad.
me, having watched him in pain for so long.
You're growing up to be quite beautiful.
Is it you?
It is?
That line's a bit loud.
How are you here?
Well, I heard.
You look different.
I can't believe you kept it like this.
Yeah, this is all fairly flat.
Sweet dreams.
A little bit quiet on those couple of lines.
I can't believe you kept it like this.
So I would say
Having watched him in pain for so long,
that
I choose not to remember
it's
him.
a little bit on the quieter
Yes, it was.
end, but that's
Well, haven't you grown up to be quite beautiful? Wow,
Is it you?
and that one's a bit loud,
It is?
and that one feels good. I reckon that one's.
It is?
How are you here?
If you go to this part, Brendan, when you're mixing, and
Is it you?
treat that one as a bit bitey. You listen to it and it's like, oh, just talk a bit quieter.
Is it you?
And this one,
It is?
you're like, yeah, that one's comfortable.
How are you here?
And that one's not too bad. I'd say that mixing those, I would probably just bring them down. That's by a few. And that one you could bring down by, I don't know, I'll try that.
Is it you?
It is?
How are you here?
That's better. So I've just taken off, that's 4 dB and this is about 3.5. Probably bring this one up a bit more. Yeah, listen to that. That will set you, use that to set your volumes of your speakers generally. If you're getting a bit muddled up with your if you're getting a bit muddled up with calibration, that will, if you've got those sitting at a level that feels good, then mix everything else, set your volume and then mix everything to that volume. Yeah, you got your elements in there, just get those few more, and then biggest priority, biggest win over the next week is just getting everything to feel flat and balanced, that it's nothing's too loud, too soft. That's going to be the biggest crime, is just lumpy volumes. And then if you've got time after that, then you start sculpting it out, like I've been doing a little bit with a Callan's mix, and what I'll do a little bit with Chris's and Callan's, Lockie, yeah. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, that goes from outside to inside. That's where I probably aim to put them on just separate tracks. If it's going to fade between bring up this. Let's do another, say, 15 minutes, and then wrap up and we'll jump back in class so I can say ciao for the semester. Computer says no. So yeah, top priority is have all of the elements in there. Second priority is with calibrated speakers, just making sure everything feels balanced. So you play it through and it's just like, oh, nothing's barking out, or you have to, things are just becoming overwhelming. So it just kind of plays pretty well. Third priority is getting into some EQ, some reverb sends, some pans. That'd be really good to see. But if you're lost on it, don't freak out. That's not going to get you anywhere. Have a go if you can. I mean, you will. I think these everything counts towards your grade. But yeah, like, don't do your EQ if all your volumes are out of whack. It's just not gonna. It's just gonna make your life harder. Yeah. So then you got your EQs and reverbs in. Third priority, and then fourth priority is really getting into the scenes and trying to sculpt it out, as I was with using VCAs, network is quite stable now. Cool, thanks, Dan. And that priority of VCAs, volume automation. You know, you might do a little bit of master group. No master groups on here, but that's all right. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got your master effects. That's for everything all up. We've got another effects here, which are the internal soundy stuff. Yeah, good. Lots of Callum's music. Dan didn't make the cut. Yeah, we've got all of our. Yeah, so we've got our that, and this is further on as well. Don't worry about these master tracks and everything if you are stuck trying to just organize your session, you know, and back at one, organizing your session, getting everything in, trying to get some rough balances. That's a big win. You know, setting up these master channels, if you're totally lost and don't know what you're doing, don't worry about it too much as well. It'd be really good to see in there. I think it's good practice. And that final, like, you know, the higher end ideal is where it starts to get into a point where it's just like you could go in different directions as far as like sculpting out scenes. So I'm not sure if you. I'll try and bring in this video again. It's not happy. Why not? Come on. Yep. Good. Yes. Yep. Cool. Just be careful of this wind, I'd say. I'll just bring that down in. And this is kind of where you get into the kind of like a later pass where you're sitting with a notepad and you write down.
It's difficult to give my dad a fitting tribute. There's very few people that knew him as a complex man.
Yep.
And in his last years,
She's
he was
going
very variable.
37 seconds.
Today comes as a relief to me,
DX up.
Having watched him in
Or
pain for so long,
piano,
I choose not to remember him
MX down.
as he was
And I'm
in
talking about
recent
2 or 3
years,
dBs, but you don't press
but
stop, you just
instead
listen through the
imagine
whole
a different
film.
person. The man he might have been in his youth. The man I didn't get to know.
102, birds.
Fuck this.
And then I'm just going to put a big cross for get rid of them. Okay, but here they're not too bad when they come back up.
You're a cunt.
Pine trees and beaches. Great. I'm going to write 130. Too many creeks. And you kind of just start to get a flow of the whole thing, and it's going pretty well. You're starting to get down to notes. Got some EQ on a few things. I don't know. Yeah. So we're been cutting pretty big cuts on some of these, and then boosting on others. And you've gone for like opening up the tracks, which is totally fine. You've kind of separated them out based on what's different things you're doing. That's fine. 217. Someone in background. So someone's talking. I don't know if that's meant to be there or not, but I like how you kind of pull some things out. It's kind of moving around a bit. Notice I'm not. I think you mentioned in the email that you were not sure about. There's a bit of a doubling up. So it could just be a bit of a Titan. 248 Titan. The box. I think we've got a really nice balance between some backgrounds. Just careful of some of these jumps. Just jumping. Often just try and do a bit of smoothing. Unless it like needs to be unless you were going for a jump. Yeah, cool. We're in the environment. So I was talking about those points about
$405 and living. $410. There are the 4 bids.
I was talking about points before, about narrative levels. So in the environment a lot, and it's a lot to do with her movements. It's not to do with, okay, now it's almost like we're hearing a little bit of hallucination. So hearing through her is some of those reversing kind of sounds. All right, we could build pressure up there. So I'm going to write 4 minutes 23. So we've got those swells in the music, but then let's push the ambience so shh. Maybe we get some of those crickets starting to sneak in, and boom, and you can hit the door really loud, or something like that. You know, give it a bit of punctuation. So kind of, she's built up this pressure, and now she's kind of moved into some action. Double door there, 4 minutes 43. Doors are a bit loud and a little bit heavy. So these are just notes, and ideally just don't press stop, and you'll start to get a sense about how everything flows. And then you just taskmastering a big list. Okay, music's a bit loud. It's overpowering the
Michael?
doubling up of boy. That's me. So some of those notes might not be right.
Is it you?
It is?
How are you here?
Yeah, so I'll just go back to that. Yep. To to that line.
Well, haven't you grown up to be quite beautiful?
Again, I'd say it's probably just a bit loud. So you've done this pass here, which is great.
Wowee.
You can actually coalesce this down. So now all of that is down on the tracks, and you can just do another pass. Might be going internal, yeah.
Is it you?
It is?
How are you here?
Well, I heard. Could use a drink, eh?
Is it you?
It is?
How are you here?
Well, I heard.
A little bit EQ on the music.
Could use a drink, eh?
Cool, and then we're bang into the environment. So we're just in this, so is it internal space emotionally? But you know, in here we're kind of in that relational space. Kind of by the time we get to here, it's a space that exists between them. So it's the music's almost coming from here. Anyway, don't need to get into identity politics.
Could use a drink, eh?
It's really good. Another thing, maybe you're doing it already. You got some reverbs going on over the top. Yep, that's cool. And then, you know, maybe we do a fab filter. Filter up to just empty it out a little bit.
Could use a drink, eh?
Here.
Well, I heard. Could use a drink, eh?
Yeah, just bits and pieces like that.
Alright.
Now the sound comes in.
The good
I don't know what
stuff.
that was.
Alright.
No.
Alright.
The good stuff. You'd have a fit if you saw a string in there.
That cricket's getting a bit annoying.
Oh.
So even just
Astonishing. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I still see to follow me all over the place.
yeah.
You look different. Older.
Well, there's been a lot of life.
For a fleeting moment there, I thought you might show up yesterday
I'd save anything on my
Maybe.
speakers.
to see him off.
The dialogue feels a little soft.
For a fleeting moment there, I thought you might show up yesterday.
I'll just bring it up by 4.
For a fleeting moment there, I thought you might show up yesterday.
I felt a bit better.
Maybe to see him off.
Yeah.
For a fleeting moment there, I
That's
thought you
getting
might
too
show
loud.
up yesterday.
Oh.
Maybe to see him off.
Yeah, I mean, everything you've mixed to it as well, but it does feel a bit
For a
soft.
fleeting moment there, I thought you might show up yesterday.
Overall, I could
Maybe.
probably bring it up to
To see him off.
I just want to see you.
I just brought it up
You're brave to do it
6
all the way.
dB on my speakers,
Oh my god. I can't believe you're here.
and that feels comfortable.
What's the plan? Are you
Sorry about that.
staying? Are you back?
I'm doing it on my mixer here. I just brought up, so that's my calibration level. I'm just bringing this up. I brought it up to about there. So I'm now monitoring 6 decibels hot, which is going to be sitting around, whoops. It's going to be sitting around 85 decibels C weighted. Oh no, sorry, the other way. It'd be like 70. It's like you calibrate it to like 71 or something. It's just feeling a bit stronger now. So I just turned my speakers up that bit more. That's 0. And then I'll go back to, yeah, about 6.3. But just maybe check it. And maybe let me know how you go with the calibration. Just having your, you should be calibrating your microphone and your app. Your phone should be in the sitting position. And just one speaker at a time, otherwise it's going to double it up. But yeah, things are sitting nicely. Now, as far as mutes, so you've gone... That's just the volume of the car. Yeah, okay, I think you're right. So you can even just go quite subtle where... So that's still down 21 decibels from where it was. I'm going to just play it for a second. So that's where it was, but you just turn it down. Okay, I'll even just turn it down by 10. See where it's at. Even more. So that's one thing you can do. And then also you can... You've got your reverbs, so you can send it to your reverb special. Seems we're moving internal. See how that sounds. Just gonna have to bring it onto all of them. So you can set your reverb for that. Copy, paste. There's other ways around this as well. Probably a little bit wet, a little bit like long dreamy reverb, but sometimes you can have your sound a little bit louder. So we're going to MFX. So I'm going to send this to MFXB. Yeah. Okay, and then I'm going to send that to... So that's just going to be for this group here. And then this one's going to go to MFX. This one. So that should be all running. Now it's running through this auxiliary as well. So again, you can just do a little bit of that subtle EQ. So because it's all of the high ends that are... You can hear the clicks of it and everything, so, you know, even just using the rolling off, we can just maybe bring it down. That's probably not going to do it. Let's just go a bit harder, and then I'll bring up the volume overall a bit more. See what we can do with just a bit of reverb. Instead of just using volume, bit of volume, bit of EQ, bit of reverb. Yeah, it's like the reverb's just like super wet, and you probably got it set up for other things as well. Long decay, you know, even just... It is... You've probably got it set for the right thing, but it's that. And then also just turning down the reverb a bit there. Cool. But also, if you're getting to this stage where you just want to reverb everything, you can probably also just send it from your master down here. So we're sculpting, that's the EQ, and we can send off our reverbs here as well. Let's go, yep, that's fine. Let's go hard and see where we can get to. like it can get a little bit on the nose if you're going too dreamy. I don't know if this quite justifies going this hard, and that's where maybe just turning the volume down works, but there's that. And then just probably getting the backgrounds out of the way a bit. I think just turning that reverb down a bit, so it's not too dreamy on the nose. Sounding a little bit of the high end of that opening is, that's where it gets a bit, maybe we need more reverb there. So it's just like little bits on and little bits off. This feels very close, but it might be in another group, I don't know. Cloth generally off unless you feel like you need it. Yeah, wind chimes is kind of nice, but I like the ending. Yeah, I'll put that more into reverb and turn it down. I think it might be the chimes that is kind of making me feel it's a bit too nice. Or something like that. Yeah, you got your reverb going off. All sounds good. Yeah. Let's just meet back in the other room. I've got to jump ship soon, so... But everyone's sounding